Okay, I'm here with Jon Kipps. Jon, really good to see you. We had a great time at the dinner last night.
Yeah.
We got to speak a little bit about your work, but it'd be really great to kind of hear from you. What are your drivers behind making these works? What are the influences?
Okay. Well, these wall-based sculptures started kind of with a podcast, actually.
Yeah.
It's called 99% Invisible, and I've
Okay,
been
I
a
know
fan
the
for
one.
many years. You know,
Yeah.
they did a cool episode. It was a long time ago now, but they did an episode about how the American government brought together a group of like artists and archaeologists to try and figure out what warming markers for nuclear waste sites might look like.
I heard this
Yeah,
one. It's
yeah.
amazing. So it's looking for an iconography that can communicate to a future
Yeah.
audience that might no longer have the same language, but need
Yeah.
to kind of communicate the hazard or the warning of it. Right?
Exactly. Like tens of thousands of years into the future when potentially our civilization doesn't even exist, and like, you know, how to kind of communicate that something is like really dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
But it was so interesting because obviously like if things are really if there's like visual things that are put out in like an ominous way, then it can also like attract people as well.
But it pulls people in. So
yeah.
how do they get the tone right?
Yeah, and so basically loosely this body of work started just by riffing off this idea of what would warning markers by me look like.
And
So
they feel like they're a set language, but they're not one that we can really interpret. And they
Yeah.
feel, I was saying last night, they feel like you can't pinpoint where in time they exist. They've got this
yeah, that was a really good way of putting it, actually.
ancestral, archetypal aspect.
Yeah, sort of futuristic and kind of like archaic all at the same time.
all at the
Yeah,
same time.
but there's another kind of element to it that's sort of wrapped in with this idea of like human waste and byproducts and things, and
Yeah.
they're all made of like leftover or like discarded materials.
Yeah.
So, for example, like this is like cardboard pulp packaging.
Okay.
that-
Have you remade the pulp, or you use the pulp?
no, I used the pulp as like a ready-made shape.
Okay.
You know, like people use it instead of polystyrene these days.
And that again perpetuates this idea that people already have a relationship to it in some way.
Yes,
Do you know
yeah.
what I mean? It's
Yeah,
like
exactly.
some
Yeah,
ambiguous form that I have some
yeah.
connection to, but I can't pinpoint it.
Yeah, but I tried to shift the materiality, so it's like this green color is supposed to be like a fake bronze, like a patina, lo-fi power.
Yeah.
So there's this thing about like elevating like basic materials and giving them some kind of presence.
Okay. And also there's a music aspect to the work. Can you talk a bit about that?
Yeah, they're all named after bands.
Okay.
There's just something about like mainly like punk and hardcore bands of like the names of them are often like kind of quite politically charged or like anti-establishment and sort of because I think a lot about like power structures and things. So there are certain names that are it's kind of like the final stage in the process when I've like made the object. Then I get to kind of like I've got a long list of like all these band names,
And when
I pair it up with the
when you are pairing them up, are you looking? Do the objects have attributes of the bands themselves, or
no, it's abstract.
It's just linguistic.
Yeah, it's more like a pairing of like the words, I'd say. So,
Yeah. Okay.
but you know, sometimes like band geeks come into the shows, you know, like fellow fans or whatever, and it's a bit. What I really like about like music fans is like the merch and the t-shirts, and like if someone's got a particular like t-shirt and you've got the same one, you can kind of like start a conversation. And
Yeah.
so there's like
You're already reading into a language there, aren't you?
so there's like a slight kind of like element of that where someone might come in, and I've had it before where they just know, they're like, oh, this band, like I know these bands, like how cool is that?